I was going to ask, would anything have persuaded you to, all that is, to reform the Beatles even for one night? And what kind of offers did you get anyway?
Well, I think the only time we phoned each other up, because everyone kept trying to get us together, but somebody phoned up and they offered us, just for one gig, and we only used to do 25 minutes. They offered us 50 million.
Dollars, was it?
Lira.
Could have been in anything. 25 quid each. And I do remember, but George never called anybody, but I remember calling everyone else and them calling me saying, oh, well, what do you think? 25 minutes, buying a new suit.
So what stopped you then?
We will never get it together. And I mean, we broke up, for all the reasons we know about. I mean, to get together. I don't really believe in, like, this getting together thing, really. Now, if we got together, it would be George, Paul and Ringo if we got together. It would not be the Beatles, We'll never do it with Julian, because it'll be George, Paul, what's my name? And Julian. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you would never go out there again with that. Well, I won't. I don't know about Georgie. Would you go out, Georgie, with that name?
No, it wouldn't be the Beatles. But the thing is, it's not to say that, I mean, Ringo and I hang out occasionally and play some tunes together.
I'm on the album.
He's on the album, he was on the concert, and Paul does concerts, and as I say, we're getting to be friendlier with Paul. It's good chance someday maybe we'll write a tune and play together, but it won't be the Beatles, and if people expect us to be the Beatles, they're going to be disappointed, but you may see three old guys called John, Paul and Ringo who someday may sing a song together.
I bet I don't get to sing.
But you have other things to offer. I mean, looking at...
Oh, yes, Michael, you're telling them now.
What about acting? Now, you've...
acting?
You've done...
Couldn't get a job if I died.
You've always been a film fan, haven't you?
I love films. I love cameras, as you may have noticed.
You've got a lot of new fans, though, with Thomas the Tank Engine.
Oh, I have. It's great. It's great. It is fabulous with Thomas. I never knew it would be so big. In fact, the first time Britt Allcroft, who was the producer of all this, came up, saying, I'd like you to read these stories about this train, which I never had because I was a Beano man. And I said, you're going to be crazy. It's Star Wars and Bannerman. We were talking years ago anyway. And so she came back and convinced me. So I said, look, I'll just read 5 of the stories on my own, on tape, and you listen to them and see if you still want me. And she did. And then we did Thomas the Train. There's all these little babies screaming again. Ringo, Ringo! I used to have the mothers. Now I've got the kids.
You are, of course, the poorest Beatle.
I am the poorest Beatle, Michael.
That's why I'm on the show.
That won't do much for your last... Well, you're down to your last 20 million now, I think, aren't you?
No, I didn't even make the list, and Georgie's got 14, so I'm down to, what, 12?
Are you a great spender, though? I mean, you enjoy
that's why. I love to spend. That's the only reason to have it.
What's the biggest waste of money you can claim to have done?
The biggest waste?
Well, the biggest...
I mean, if you call this, like, some reality, it's all waste. What?
Apple.
Well, that was all of us. You can't blame me for that personally.
If it had all never happened, what would you be doing now?
I'd be a drummer. Well, what's funny about that? I mean, I decided when I was 18, this is my life. So, just because we made it, I don't think, I mean, you're asking a weird question because we don't know what would have happened if it hadn't happened.
All conjecture.
But I just feel that I still would have been playing behind the strippers.
George?
Or in front these days.
I think I probably would have been probably a better guitar player than I am now because,
Impossible.
the famous bit sort of we ended up just playing the same old stuff for years. But I started playing the guitar when I was about 13, and that's the only thing I really wanted to do. I didn't want to be a Thomas the Tank Engine or...
Thanks so much.
or a train, a fireman or anything like that.
Would you have been happier men?
Oh.
If it had not occurred?
I always feel I was born happy.
So happiness...
I don't, happy, I'm basically happy. I am happy.
And George, you certainly are.
I'm quite happy, yeah. But you can't say, you know, it's all, this is our lives, you know, this is the only life I can remember, and I'm happy enough doing it. It's been up and down and good and bad, and in the end, I think all of us have come out of it reasonably sane and quite happy.
Well, the rest of us are happy, and for all of us, it's been fab. Thank you very much indeed. Ringo Starr and George Harrison. Thank you. And thanks for your company. See you next week. Good night.